Hello everyone, my name is Muir, and this is Starsector version 0.95 ARC15. And this is the Laser Medusa, very similar to the Laser Wolf. Actually, it's almost an identical concept. Basically, the Laser Wolf has a few fewer lasers, and the Medusa has 2 graviton beams instead of 1. That's about it. But basically, what we have is advanced optics, so we get 200 more range. Integrated point defense AI, so if the enemy uses missiles, we can shoot those down. Integrated targeting unit to give these extra range, and a flux distributor because, well, that's the only way we could get above 600, and I wanted to be above that. As for weapon groups, if it shoots to the left, it goes on 2. Shoots to the right, it goes on 3. If it shoots back, it goes on 4. And the hard points are on 1. Alright, so how well does this do? Well, the nice part is you don't even need a reckless officer for this to work, but I would always recommend that you just use a reckless officer because why not? Alright, let's go and throw it up against this, and let's turn on autopilot so that he will go and do his thing at incredible range. Alright, so that Enforcer is doing the best it can, but it's just not going to be good enough. Because now that Medusa is at range, it can basically just shoot the Enforcer forever. Now, the laser sort of builds that we have here really revolve around the fact that the enemy ships can't get to you. And so with this one, it's the exact opposite of the Pulse Medusa. With this one, we just stay at range until we slowly melt their armor, and then at some point they're going to keep their shields up until they overload and explode. So it's not particularly exciting, but it is very effective when you have extreme range over the enemy. Now, the only way he could potentially win is by getting us down into a corner where we can't run away anymore and might be able and could corner us them, but we could always just teleport away. That's the strength of the phase skimmer. So, if you have a bunch of Medusas who are built like this, you'll basically kill everything that you can outrange and outrun. Now he's coming at us, hoping desperately that he can do something. But, well, unfortunately for him, the Medusa is not going to have any problem escaping. And it's just a very slow melt here while he slowly dies. And this is probably going to be this, or very soon he won't take his shields down again. He'll overload and explode. Or, hey, you know, maybe not. Ah, here it is. We'll just refuse to take his shields down at this point. We'll basically launch all the missiles that he can in the hopes that they can do something. But it's all in vain, as the Enforcer slowly overloads and explodes. Trying to just feather those shields and that armor as much as he can to stay alive as long as possible. And dead. Alright. So the Laser Medusa, how well does it do against its points in crickets? I'm going to go with these because it's just as many as possible. And I think swarming it with as many as possible will give them a higher chance of winning against the Medusa. But who knows? Because it can really just focus on whoever it wants. Oh yeah, and it's just targeting somebody. It's going to slowly eat away at their armor, and then they will explode. Yeah. It's not a whole lot they can do. And its teleport becomes really just a gap closer to allow it to kill someone. Now, if the AI is smart, it'll teleport out of that, but... Alright. That's one of the things that these ships are not, that these commanders aren't necessarily good at is not getting surrounded. Or just focusing one person down who needs to die. Okay, so he's focused on this person now. That means they're pretty much doomed. Will they make it out? Yes. But will they survive for long enough? No. Will you survive for long enough to escape? No, because you turned around. Alright, and now adjust this last hound. Let's see, how well does this do against carriers? So, we'll just say these two. Why not? Good luck, Mr. Medusa. Or Miss Medusa, I should say. Alright, so the Medusa's main strength is that it can stay at range and basically just deal damage. Its main weakness is that that damage happens over a long period of time. So carriers are an effective counter to this type of build. Because what the Medusa can do is shoot down all the other ships. Shoot down the fighters if it wanted to. But it's going to struggle with actually killing a carrier quickly. So as we can see, this ship, it's going to be able to do the same thing the Enforcer was able to do. It's going to be able to do it for a very long time. Now, unless the Medusa can slowly dwindle, slowly kill all of the fighters, and then, with no fighters present, go and kill one of the carriers, it could win that way. But that will take even longer. But if you're playing this yourself, you're piloting it yourself for some reason, then probably not too bad. As you can see here, the bombers are all down, and the carrier is getting attacked directly. So it's going to slowly die over the course of quite a while, as the laser Medusa desperately tries to eat through its armor with its tactical lasers, which really don't do a lot of damage. But it's able to get, it's starting to get through the front of it, so that is effective at least. Those graviton lasers, graviton beams are doing quite a good job of taking down the shields repeatedly. So, and down this condor is going to go very shortly, followed by the other. Simply because there is no escape from the laser Medusa. And down he goes. So, just to point this out, the Medusa hasn't really taken a lot of armor damage, which means it would be incredibly cheap to repair it after a fight. The only downside is, before it kills anything, it might end up with some CR damage from it taking so long. But if we had two laser Medusas, this would just be over. These carriers do not have what it takes to counter this Medusa. Not alright. No real ability to fight back. And yeah, it's just dead on arrival. It takes a bit of time to get through it. All the laser builds take a while. But yeah, this guy, no chance whatsoever. Alright, so let's see how well it does against something bigger and meaner, like a capital. No, not a capital, a cruiser. Can it do anything against a cruiser? Well, let's find out. Well, it is slowly backing out of the cruiser's weapons range, or what it hopes is the cruiser's weapon range. And it looks like we are slated for this to just be the exact same dance that we had last time, where it will slowly eat through the cruiser's armor until the cruiser is critical in that one area, and then it will overload its shields and destroy it. The question is, does it actually have the DPS to get through the cruisers, to get through the cruiser before this is all over? Even if it doesn't though, here's something to consider. This Medusa costs 12 points. This Dominator costs 25 points. So, if this Medusa can effectively keep this Dominator busy for an entire fight, we are costing the enemy quite a bit just to be harassed constantly by a Medusa. Very useful. And this is basically how it's going to look for like a while. So we already know how this is going to play out. So let's, if we were to go and put it up against a capital, the same thing would play out here. So let's go ahead and see how it fares against an onslaught. Is the onslaught able to kill it quickly? Well, it has that little bit of alpha strike. The main problem is going to be once the Medusa is able to get to max range and sit there, the onslaught might not be able to do anything to it. It seems to be sitting in the onslaught's range, slowly backing away. But alright. The onslaught's able to tag it a little bit, but how are we looking now? Well, it can do a little bit, but right now we have an onslaught that is preoccupied with a Medusa that it can't catch. Well, if the Medusa makes mistakes, then the onslaught would win eventually. But otherwise, how's it looking here? Because yeah, it can just run away, probably vent, and keep that onslaught busy more or less forever. So yeah, I don't think this is that won't be resolved in any kind of reasonable time frame. But again, what we have here is a single onslaught, is a single Medusa that is able to essentially keep any ship that it can't kill busy, keep busy any ship that it can't kill, and also kill any ship that's in its weight class or smaller quite easily, as well as carriers. Yeah, not too bad, not too shabby. Alright guys, my name has been Muir. This has been Starsector version 0.95A RC15. And I will catch you guys later. Go ahead and leave me a like, comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and just share the video with whoever you think would like it. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing if you'd like to see more. I really want to know what you'd like to see more of, so just let me know in the comments below. Thanks, and see you next time. Bye.